Well, Joe Parker, listen, there's a lot of talk about yes men in boxing, right? Surely you're the ultimate yes man. Do you want to fight Joe Joyce? Yes. Do you want to fight Zhilei Zhang? Yes. Deontay Wilder? Yes. You're the guy, right?
You know, as a fighter, you want to fight everyone. You want to fight everyone and anyone. And it comes down to the coach, your team, and yourself. And when everyone's on the same page and everyone has belief and confidence in what I can do in the ring, we all agree to it. And we want to take the best fights out there. We want to take the best and the biggest fights out there.
And you're consistently doing that. And last time out it was Deontay Wilder, where you upset the apple cart. They was talking about doing a face-off with AJ and Wilder in the ring afterwards and all that. And here you are, you beat him. How do you look back on that now?
When I look back at that fight, of the Wilder fight, I was myself and the team were the underdogs going into that fight, but we were quietly confident in what I can do in the ring because of what we've seen in sparring, what we've seen in training, the way that we prepared for the fight, and it gave us a boost being the underdog. And for that fight, it wasn't Wilder's night; it was my night, and I was able to go out there and execute the plan that Andy had in place and put on a great performance, and came away from that fight with a win and with a lot of confidence going into this fight and future fights.
And you've been very humble about it. You've been talking about, just like you said there, it wasn't his night. He hasn't been so much so. He's been talking about how you didn't do a lot in the fight. Do you ever get tempted to be like, I beat you? You know, kind of say it with your chest and like hammer it home kind of thing.
It's a human nature. Sometimes you want to say this and you want to say that, but when I really just step back and look at it, I got the win, and I'm locked into another big fight. And you know, there are things you can say whatever you want to say after the fight, but it is what it is. And I'm happy with my performance and what I done and the focus I had in the fight. And maybe he's unhappy with his one. And I see they're training again. I see Wilder and Malik in the gym training again. So all the best to them and what they have coming up.
Was there a moment in that fight where you knew it was going to be your night?
No. Even after the fight, knowing that I did a lot of good work in the fight, after the fight you never know how it's going to go. There was already a fight locked in, maybe they could give the win to him. So even after the fight there was no celebration, it was just, we felt like we won, but we had to wait for the decision to be announced.
And now it's Big Bang Zang. I mean, this is a guy who's considered...
Big Bang.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a big scary guy. He has twice stopped Joe Joyce, who has a win over you. I mean, talk to me about this fight. How are you feeling?
Going into this fight, I know a lot of people comparing my fight with Joe Joyce and Zhang's fight with Joe Joyce, two fights. So he's coming off two good wins and supreme confidence, but if I look back at that fight, I'm a totally different fighter now. Joe Joyce beat me that day, and that day he was a better man. But standing here today, or sitting here right now in front of you, I feel like a totally different fighter. Physical, mental, and I'm coming into this fight with confidence against Zhang. I know what Zhang can do. I know that Zhang's a powerful fighter, and he's done some great things, and he's been in boxing. He's been involved in boxing for the longest time. The Olympics. How many times has he been to Olympics? Twice.
Yeah.
And now he's got some great wins as a professional. So he wants to continue and continue his momentum of getting to fighting for the world title. But I have goals, and I know what I can do, and I come into this fight ready to take whatever he brings.
Well, he's a southpaw as well, and I was looking at your box rate. I think you've only boxed one southpaw.
I've only boxed one southpaw in my career.
What challenges
the great thing though in this camp is that my trainer is a southpaw. So my trainer has a lot of insight on, like, Zhang would have fought so many orthodox fighters in his career because most fighters are orthodox, and Andy's the same as Andy. But in this camp, I've worked extremely hard with George Walcott. I've eaten good, rested well, trained very hard with Andy, and we brought in the best sparring that we could find. And thanks to all the guys that came in for sparring, because they gave me the best work and they were the best help to prepare for this fight.
Well, he's done a few interviews. He's a very funny guy, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big bang, bangs everything that moves.
Bangs everything, yeah. So he intends on banging you, in a fighting way. I'd have thought. But he said something about, he saw an interview with you where you said you were going to bang the Big Bang in a fighting way again, and he said, "Chat shit, get zanged."
Yeah,
I mean,
that's actually a good phrase. That one. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's pretty good.
I wonder who come up with that.
chair should get Zhang, yeah.
Well, in thoughts? I mean, it's quite an ominous warning, Joe.
Listen, us fighters, we say whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
We give warnings however we want to give warnings. But in this fight, I'm going to be explosive, Joseph.
I like that. Is this about deep waters? Is this about taking him late, where people have been saying he gets maybe a little bit tired? Joe Joyce wasn't able to take him into the second half of their fights, but there is a thing.
I'm not really banking on him getting tired. I know, like, with his team, earlier on in his career, he did get tired towards the end of the fight. Like in recent times, he hasn't. So I'm not banking on him getting tired. I'm banking on Zhang being the best that he could be, being fit for 12 rounds, throwing powerful and big shots the whole fight. I'm banking on him to bring his best because I'm going to bring my best. And my best can beat everyone in the division.
It's such a good fight. Tell me how it's going to end.
We're going to have a great fight day. We're going to relax and chill, stay calm. We're going to go to the venue, warm up, have some fun again, laughs and smiles. I'm going to go into that ring full of confidence. I'm going to follow Andy's plan that he has set for me. I'm going to execute it well, and I'm going to win. However it takes to get the win, I'm going to win.
Listen, one final thing. I look back at those videos of a young Joe Parker winning the world title. You look, you didn't have the beard then. You was a much younger guy. Like, do you recognise yourself when you're watching back?
Now, listen, looking back, that fighter to the fighter now is way different. Sometimes I don't even recognise that fighter to the fighter I am now and the person that I am now. Not only person, but father and husband, fighter, brother, totally different fighter and person altogether.
Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
See ya.